Hey, great Monday morning. It is a beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville, Texas. And for some reason, I get here and the camera doesn't work. And I don't know why. But I don't know if it's just I don't know if it's just. ¿Qué te quejas? She has a good life. Hey, damn Mike. This is the mess that I have here that you usually don't see because I usually have my green screen on. And I can't because for some reason. ¡Ey! Ahí anda el niño allá arriba como loco. ¿Míralo? ¿O es Chema, Emma? Ah, quién sabe qué está. Tengo miedo que va a estar haciendo más murero. That's Ruby. Es Emma, ¿verdad? Ay, pobrecito. Oh, that's why he was complaining. I have my dressing room in the back. And that's why a lot of people, when they come here, por eso estaba quejándose. Hey, puedes pasar si quieres. It's true. I have a dressing room in the back, and that's why a lot of people think that I actually live out of the office. I don't. I don't live out of the office. But live TV, live TV. Puro Murero in the background looks like an episode of The Hoarder. Maybe, but no. Look, these those are the TVs for church. These bags are the bags I bought from Mazatlan. Some shirts. I got some Walmart deliveries that came in, and those are for actually for church also. Most of the stuff that I have back here is going to be sent off to Matamoros for the kids and for the church events. Let me say, I want to thank some of the individuals that have already stated that they're going to help us out. Someone came on one of my posts and said, "Well, that's what you should think about doing a toy drive." And I go like, I do that every year. I'm looking at my top screen. Every year, we have a toy drive, and we take to the kids in Mexico. We take toys, but we don't do it in December because one of the things that I think that we've learned is that a lot of kids have sometimes something in December, although be it small if you like, but we try to get them a nice gift for Dia de los Reyes. Does that make sense? So yeah, every year we do a toy drive. Let me tell you guys, pretty upset. Pretty upset. No, it's not good. Let me see. By the way, are you doing a Christmas drive for children at Matamoros again? Like, yes. Again, every year. But that's what happens. You have to turn on your camera. Good morning.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see
Good
you.
morning. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I'm very self-conscious. I don't want anybody to see me. Es que estoy muy feita.
No, but not that. And Yoli Speaks is with us today, right?
Peace. Yes, good
Speaks.
morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Space. It's like space, except it's two E's in the middle.
Peace? Speaks?
I'm okay. Um,
Peace.
aside from the nonsense, yeah.
Okay.
Aside from the nonsense I've been having to put up with since April 18th.
Yeah. Let me say, Yoli and I go back a whiles.
Yeah, we've
And
known each other for a few years now.
yeah. And I'll make mentions. One of the things that I think that I constantly get is, oh, that's what you like to hang around with individuals that are always like your supporters and stuff. And no, one of the things I'm open to speak to anyone. And Yoli and I were not on the same page for a while. It's back in the heyday. But it's good to
Oh,
talk to
we've
you.
never,
Huh?
yeah. Yes, it is good to talk to you.
Yeah, we've
And the
never.
fact that you're doing me this favor is like a huge deal.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think that a lot of people that come on here know is that I'm willing to talk to anyone and everyone. Always opted zoom in your camera, rookie. How do I do that, Frankie? It's not the camera. It's I'm on the camera for some reason. It doesn't want to click on. I'm on the computer damn camera, rookie. It's not that I'm a rookie. It's that for some reason, uh, and for those that are technically involved or technically on the know-how, for some reason, no quiere pescar la cámara. I'm not sure why. But going back into Yoli and myself, yeah, I don't even know why. Definitely a rookie. Oh, shut up, Frankie. I don't even know why exactly we were in that little place. It doesn't matter. I don't keep stuff for a while. Yoli, tell us what's been happening since April.
Back in January, I found this really pretty dog, and I looked around for the owner. Never found the owner. I had the dog for 88 days, and I don't know if you know this about this. I don't know if you know about this or not, but according to Municipal Code, Chapter 10, and it deals with animal ownership and regulation and everything. I was technically the owner for those 88 days. And one day my husband was out walking her. Now, keep in mind, during those 88 days, the dog got out on me on a few occasions, but I was able to find her and bring her home. And I usually found her within 50 minutes. I think the longest it lasted me was 2 hours. And she ran over to this house where they were fixing the roof, and one of the roofers was able to catch her, and I brought her home. No problem, right? I'm being a responsible dog owner. My dog gets out, I go find her, and I bring her home. So I realized the dog needed to go for walks, long walks. So what I would do is I would have my husband walk her down to where I work in downtown, and then he would just put her in the car and drive home. Well, on one of those occasions, this woman basically assaulted my husband. She assaulted my husband, and I say she assaulted him because she was saying it was her dog and that he had no right to have it. And he's like, was she microchipped? No, she wasn't microchipped, but she was my dog. And it was point is, my husband came home and he told me what was happening. And then within a few minutes, I had two officers in front of my house. The first officer, was, hey, what's going on? He was being the good cop. And I showed him the dog and everything. And I said, I've had the dog for 3 months. Okay. We walked back outside, and then there was another officer there, and his name is Cervantes. And he right away started coming at me about how it was that lady's dog and I needed to hand it over and I don't know what else. And, it escalated and got out of line, but I felt kind of attacked, and honestly, I was scared I was going to get arrested. And where I work, it's zero tolerance. I couldn't afford to get arrested. So I surrender the dog under duress. The thing is, the report says I surrendered her voluntarily. There was nothing voluntary about it. If you've got two cops in front of your house and one is arguing heavily for you to turn over the dog, what are you going to do? What would a reasonable person do?
We'll turn over the dog.
Exactly. I turned over the dog. But then I ended up looking at the report, and the report was biased because it said that I voluntarily handed the dog and that it was an identical match. And basically what the officer was saying is that I stole the dog, and there was nothing could be further from the truth. I did not steal the dog. I gave the dog a safe, stable home, and I had her for 3 months in a safe, stable home. So what I proceeded to do after that, I spoke to the guys at Animal Control, and they told me, no, you had rights. You didn't have to turn over the dog, but you turned it over, and but you harbored the dog, therefore it was your dog, and you could go to a property hearing and fight for the dog. So I did just that. The other thing is,
you went to a property
I went to a
hearing
property hearing
in order to get the dog back.
They found in my favor.
And
they found in my favor. But the thing is, go ahead.
No, they found in your favor.
And she was supposed to turn over the dog. But instead of turning over the dog, she lied and said, I lost the dog. There was a drive-by shooting. We ran for our lives, but we abandoned the dog. And we came back 2 days later after a drive-by shooting, and the dog was gone. And so then now the police are saying, well, it's a civil matter. It's not our problem anymore. But the thing is, the entire thing was a violation of police protocol because the dog should have never been taken from me. That's the first thing. The second thing is that when I was getting ready to put the dog in the car, in the canine unit, which obviously that's another nonverbal cue, a canine unit came to the house, which means you're going to hand over the dog, period. Aside from how he was pushing me, there was a canine unit, which meant he was going to take the dog, period. So, when my husband brought up, well, wait a minute, we paid vet bills, we paid grooming bills, we paid this, we paid that. We've had the dog for, 90 days. And he basically said, well, I'll be the intermediary. I'll make sure that she pays you back and this and that and so on and so forth. Okay, we'll give you the vet bills. My husband will send you the vet bills, via text. We sent him the vet bills. Keep in mind, we sent the officer the vet bills. The next day, when she was supposed to pay, he said, she disconnected her phone and I have no way of contacting her now, which was bullshit because he had gotten a report from her. So he had her address, and her address was way on the other side of town over by the airport. And she supposedly lost the dog where I was working in the downtown area. So that was a lie. The other thing is, so he knew how to get a hold of the lady and did not get a hold of her. The other thing, because he could have just very easily gone over there. He's the intermediary, and that's a violation of protocol. He wasn't supposed to do that. He offered to be the intermediary. He was jumping up and down to be the damn intermediary. And then at the last minute, oh, I'm sorry, I can't find her anymore. And so then I continued texting him. And this went on for 3 weeks. So the first excuse was that she disconnected her phone. So then I continued texting him and I said, I've got some ideas as to how we can get my dog back and so on and so forth. Who is this? I don't know who this is. Basically, he pretended like he didn't know who I was. And he claimed that that his phone had been reprogrammed by the Brownsville PD because it's a Brownsville PD issued phone. So there was that lie too. Then he said, oh, I know who you are now. Yes, I remember. Oh, and by the way, this time it wasn't that she disconnected her phone. Now she changed her phone number. And my question is, how do you know she changed her phone number? Then another week or so went by. And then I told him, you know what, we're going to go talk to an attorney. And then suddenly I found her. And I tried to call you last night to tell you, but you didn't answer your phone. So I didn't answer my phone, and that's why he couldn't send me a text or leave me a voicemail to tell me, hey, I found her and she's got your money. He didn't do any of that. He just said no answer, and that was the only text that he sent me, but no explanation as to why it's important for me to call him back. So then he's basically saying, no, well, she had your money last night and she's ready to pay you and she apologizes and so on and so forth. I said, well, we'll talk after I finish talking to the attorney. And then he got defensive. I tried to help you with this. I tried to remedy this situation, but you know what? I can't do that now. This is now a civil matter. And at that point, I stopped contacting him. Then I wanted to file a formal complaint against him. I couldn't do that because apparently I tried to go to IT. I tried to go IA, Internal Affairs, because you're complaining about a police officer. You go to Internal Affairs. You don't go to anybody else, right? Internal Affairs sent me to his sergeant. Her name is Cecilia Valdez. When I got there, she was very confrontational and she was ugly and rude to me. And basically told me I had no rights and I had no right to ask for anything. And he went above and beyond. Who did he go above and beyond for? Because it wasn't for me. Right?
Right. For the situation, maybe?
He didn't go above and beyond. He actually violated police protocol. They're not supposed to do that because the moment that I said I had the dog for how many months, at that point, he just should have said, okay, this is now a civil matter and she is going to have to sue you in court for the dog. That's what he should have done. And he didn't do that. Instead, he made me hand over the dog. And because he made me hand over the dog, I'm never going to see my dog again as a result. So that's how he handled it. The other thing is he said he had no information at all, but the day of the property hearing, apparently he was having a conversation with Robert DePong from the animal control department, and he knew where she lived. He was a plethora of information as to how to get a hold of her. And the funny thing that Mr. DePong pointed out to him is wow, okay, so she lives way over there by the airport. She lives way over there by the airport, and she drives an hour every day to a recycling center, that's where she works, at a recycling center up in Harlingen. So she's driving an hour a day. She couldn't be making more than $10, $12 an hour. How is that possible? Most of her money's going in gas. And then that ended that. The thing is, they found in my favor, and she was supposed to hand over the dog, but instead she didn't have the dog anymore. The Brownsville PD was bending over backwards. Ma'am, you need to come down to the police station, rather than getting her there at her house and saying you need to hand over the dog. No, ma'am, you need to come down to the police station and you need to pick up your order and you need to hand over the dog. Well, I lost the dog. So then I get a call from a Detective Perez telling me, oh, well, you know what? It's a civil matter now. We can't help you. The thing is, what she's done at this point is theft. So now I had to file another piece of paperwork called contempt of court and order to enforce. And so I'm in the middle of that right now. The other thing is the police started tampering with my cases. And how did they do that? I had a small claims court where I was going to sue her for damages and basically say, okay, I had to invest in this, I had to invest in this, I had to do this, I had to do that. You need to pay me back for that and the dog, or give me the dog and we can forget the whole thing. Well, it was in Linda Salazar's court, and as it turns out, she had already filed a default judgment. Basically, they were going to find in my favor and she was going to have to pay all that. Instead, what the Brownsville Police Department is, they went down there and encouraged her to report, which means I was going to have to pull out all this paperwork and show them why she needs to pay. So all of a sudden I have to do all of that. And then the worst part about it was there was a Commander Pascal. He was supposed to help me, and the entire time he did not help me. Instead, what he did is he was sabotaging it, to the point where Mr. DePong from Animal Control can no longer speak to me. I have that on text where he says, because I'm part of the Brownsville Police Department, I can't help you anymore. I hope you find resolution. But the thing is, they've tampered with my witnesses. They've tampered with my cases. This is the Brownsville Police Department that has done that. They've basically turned into thugs with badges. And then on top of that, I sent the letter to the chief of police. Next thing I know, it's sent to the city attorney. I can't touch. All of my FOIA requests were denied.
Well,
All of my Freedom of Information Act, I wanted copies of the DVDs. I wanted copies of the police cam. I wanted copies of everything. It's like, no, no, no. You know what? Let her attorney come get it. And the
you,
funny thing about it is, I don't have an attorney. I had an attorney help me with the limited scope for the property hearing, and that was it. I
you know,
didn't have an attorney after that. But now to find an attorney is a pain in the ass because nobody wants to help me because I'm going up against the Brownsville Police Department. And apparently, the thugs with badges are heavily protected in the state of Texas.
well, you know what? We were
And the
actually,
city attorney is now defending them already and saying, no, you can't have this paperwork. No, you can't have that paperwork. A ver cómo le haces. So
you know,
basically, it's
it's crazy, right?
it's a mess,
Let me
and
tell
it
you
should
what.
never have gotten to this, but it's gotten to this because they want to crush me.
Well, you
And
know,
the thing is, if they're doing this to me, who else have they done this to? And what I really suspect is, I sort of wonder if the officer knew her somehow, because you had two officers show up at my house over this.
it's crazy
I
because
had
let me
two
tell you.
officers showed up at my house over this.
Well, let me say it's crazy because one of the things that I think we've experienced recently is in regards to open records requests. We've been trying to get out there and get some open records requests from PUB in regards to the whole mess that's going on. And let me say, it's
Yeah.
not as easy as a lot of people would think that it is. One of the things that we've experienced in regards to getting that PUB information request is that they want to charge like two to $3,000. But I think I can't remember the exact amount, but $2,000 to $3,000 to get information that should be readily accessible to the public. And it's crazy because one of the things that I think that
Yeah. Well, the DVD, the police camp,
yeah, no,
the thing about the police cam is that they were going to charge me $1 a minute for that police cam.
yeah,
So
and
it was going to end up costing me like
but
$240. It was just crazy. And the thing is, go ahead.
no, but it's crazy because I have pets myself. I have four cats, and I love my cats. There's very little I wouldn't do for my cats, but I think one of the things that I think it's commendable all this effort that you've done, you're doing in order to to get your pet back. And I think one of one of the things I think that we wish we'd have more individuals also, who'd cared about their pets as much, but also cared about, the way that a lot of other individuals are also here suffering in the city of Brownsville because of the corruption that exists here, which might
Mm-hmm.
might be part of the problem that you're facing. I think the problem that we're facing is similar in that we're finding a lot of the same roadblocks, except the ones that benefit from our fight are everyone here that lives in the city of Brownsville. People need to get more involved and demand that something different, that we should expect that different from those individuals that are supposed to be there to service. Is that correct? Hello? Bueno? Bueno? Hello? And I think Miss Speaks is gone. And again, was asked if I'd share some time, and I'm glad. But my thing is, guys, I really wish that a lot of this energy that a lot of people sometimes place in these different matters be placed in those things that actually, you know, are impactful to everyone in the city of Brownsville. And again, I, I love pets. I don't think that there's a greater pet rescue here in the city of Brownsville than Erasmo Castro. But we need to stay focused. This is one of the fights that I have constantly with Maggie, I have this fight with Maggie, and I don't know understand why Maggie only wants to come out once every 3 months. But I have this fight with Maggie because I want uh, that same energy that we sometimes place on Dr. Rene to be placed on everything else that's going on in the city of Brownsville. Uh, Let me tell you, uh, change is definitely needed in the city of Brownsville. We need a little bit more of leadership. I think one of the things that Yoli was mentioning was how there's ordinances that are out there, guys, that just don't make sense, And again, they seem a lot of times to contradict one thing that city officials say, law enforcement says, than what is actually in the books. I was just surprised that it was ordered for her to get her pet back, and then all of a sudden it's just like, well, that's not what's going to happen, and that's what's unfortunate. Uh, because once you come up with those types of issues where there's no coordination, nothing makes sense, then everything is a free for all, and that's what's really unfortunate. And I think that this week we're going to have, guys, a lot of different meetings out there with uh, they're going to go on in regards to happening at PUB, the Charter Review Committee. And the Charter Review Committee is another one that should be able to clarify the ordinances as they sit and how they're being enforced. And if anything needs to be tweaked, it needs to be tweaked through the same. This is one of the reasons why I'm going to ask Vito Cardenas, who is the chair of the Charter Review Committee, um, to come on and explain what where they're at in regards to this. And I also want to bring to his attention, Yoli's speech is concerned in regards to, what's in the charter. Because again, guys, just because what affects someone doesn't affect us all doesn't mean that it affects us all. Because, and let me give this real quick example. Let's say we're talking about a situation with a lost pet. Uh, Sometimes one of these cases that may appear to be small to someone or to other people, this uh, causes impact on everything. And one of the things that I've always made mention, you can't let them get away with anything, because giving them an inch, guys, they'll take a mile. So again, if they think they have the authority to take someone's pet, to arrest someone because they tagged a wall, doesn't mean that they're not going to come after you later on for something or other, because they feel emboldened that they're untouchable. Untouchable. And that's the issue. That's the issue. Let me get to the comments, and I've actually got to work. Where's Judge Judy when you need her? I we want Dave's and Hot Chicken Restaurant here in Brownsville. I like Dave's, and I like chicken. Like I said, they will retaliate. Yeah, they will retaliate, and I think that's one of the things that Yoli had mentioned. They retaliate, and again, guys, let me say that one of the things that I think some of us have experienced. Someone was making mention in our group how they had some issues with their cars being scratched up, issues with certain vehicles going slow by their house and then speeding up once you notice that they're there. Guys, it's not easy. It's too funny. Maria. Science was determined that after 2 minutes, Frank, you would know nothing about that. Yeah, everyone can. All of the dog, hell, one just ran by my house. He's yours. There is actually a lost dog at, I can't remember. I just posted it. I'm out of here. Yo más cuerda. Julio, behave. Oh, man. Could be that dog was stolen from those people and the dog got away. Dog is an escape artist. You know what? One of the things that I've always asked is, and again, I'm not saying that this is the case with the people who took Yoli's dog, but I wonder if a lot of these animals that constantly come up, and like the one that I posted today is a regular one. I wonder if they're just trying to escape a bad situation. And then maybe people like Yoli gave them a great home, and then all of a sudden, the people want the dog back. It's a lot of mistreatment. I'm not saying that's the case; it could happen. And this is one time, a lady stole my dog. It's crazy, Hector. On tile bonus. No Christmas bonus for anyone out there. I want to say this, and I hope Maggie's watching. Do you remember, Maggie, or people at VISD, which I think that Doña Medallas is. Do you remember when Drew knew that she was on her way out? That she went up there and stated, "Hey, let's give teachers a $5,000 bonus." You remember that? Yeah. Well, let me tell you, este, I think this is one of the same things that I think Eddie Garcia is doing and Denise Garza are doing. Hey, let's give teachers a bonus. You're not in the majority. It's not going to happen. It's unfortunate that it's been a free for all for the past 20 plus years that I've lived here. The corruption doesn't stop, and it's a plain sight. Just nothing happens to improve Brownsville. It is. You're right, Amy. I haven't seen you in a while. Then you wonder why they want to defund the police. Oh yeah, it sucks. I love my pets, but who wears a pearl necklace? This guy does. Shut up. Dog said it. I hope to get a taco. Change is definitely needed. Leadership is the key. Everything else falls into the turn of the community. Your vote is the door. Yes, guys, I am back in town having technical issues, and for some reason, this system is not working out well. Everything seems to be falling apart. My camera is down. You think Yoli's camera was down? It's just crazy. So I'm going to cut her short today. I'll be back tonight at 9 p.m. Guys, thank you so much for being patient with me on my quick little trip to Mexico City. Um, it was a quick, amazing little trip for many reasons. Frankie messed it up. Yeah, Mendio Frank. Guys, have a great, great day. See you tonight at 9 p.m. This is Bob Torres. I don't know what the hell he put, but it's Tetro and Golonsky. Yeah. The best bonus of all would be for them to stop being corrupt. Yeah, that'd be great. Leave Frankie in charge if you leave again. I try. Mas que Frankie, is kind of like on the nuts side. Guys, have a great day. Social distance, face covering, hand sanitizer, still and all that crap. I'm done. Guys, be good to each other. Continue to be good to me. See you tonight at 9 p.m. God bless.